50 years is a long time in the automotive community. Not many cars have been around for that long. Thinking of a few: Chevrolet Suburban, big, reliable, big old truck. Chevrolet Corvette, America's favorite sports car. Everybody's loved it since it was introduced. Even the Porsche 911. But I think we had a birthday from someone else just recently. Now, a few years ago, Ford came out with the Evos concept. Now, this car was to show the future of the entire Ford lineup design language. If you go into a Ford showroom today, chances are what you're looking at was inspired by the Evos concept. The Mustang is no different. The front end gets a very sharp, swept back look, curvy, just aerodynamic inspired lines that you don't get and you didn't get in past retro Mustangs and past Fox bodies. This is also why the new 2015 Mustang looks more like a sporty two-door Fusion than it ever did before. Underneath, the 2015 Mustang is all new as well. From the ground up, the chassis has been redesigned. The last time we got a new design like that was back in 1990 with the Fox body and the original 5.0s. However, the biggest news of all is an independent rear suspension. Now, this is something that was normally reserved for the high-end cars like the Cobras and just the really fast, badass Mustangs. While the drag racers loved their live axles and Ford had it dialed in perfectly over the past 20 years, I think some road racers are going to enjoy this independent rear suspension. It allows the rear wheels to move independently, which makes it much better around turns than it ever was in the past. The Mustang is a unique vehicle. It kind of has to be something for everybody. It has to range from the lowly V6 entry-level sports car all the way up to the new Shelby GT350 with a flat plane crank that's just going to bark like crazy. Ford knows its drivers, Ford knows its owners, and Ford knows what Mustang owners are looking for. I mean, what other car comes with track apps with things like launch control and electronic line lock? '15 Mustangs come in 3 flavors. V6 starting at around $24,000, the new 4-cylinder turbocharged EcoBoost motor making 310 horsepower, getting a combined 25 miles per gallon, that starts at around $25,300, whereas this one, the GT that we're sitting in right now, that starts at around $32,300, comes with a 400 horsepower, 5-liter V8, the same Coyote motor that we've loved for the past couple years, and an all-new, beautiful, wrapped-up orange package. The Mustang's always been known as an affordable sports car, and while the plastic remains, the cabin is much nicer than it's ever been before. I mean, the touch points are just nice and soft and well refined, whereas the hard plastics are far away from you where you're not going to be touching them. And they also have these great distracting features like these cool aircraft grade toggle switches down here. One controls your steering input, so you can have everything from a comfortable, soft steering to even an overly firm, just overdone, because kind of like wrenching it through the turns. The other great thing is the mode button. You can have Sport, Sport Plus, and there's even a track mode, which will show a little track only light just to remind you where you should be playing with that. The other thing that I've noticed about the new Mustang is the automatic. Now, we have a GT, the V8, with the automatic. Sometimes an automatic can spoil a sports car. However, in the GT, I've found that once you leave it in sport mode, the shifts are a lot more crisp and a lot more like you'd almost expect from a big, powerful V8. Whereas if you leave it in drive, it can feel a little bit sluggish and unpredictable. You won't really know when the power is coming on. There's a bit of a delay from the time you put your foot down till the time you start going. But once you put it in sport mode, flip it up to Sport Plus or even Race, the thing takes off like a machine. Now, the car we find ourselves in today is a Mustang GT Premium, which means for an extra couple $1,000s above the price of a regular GT, you get added bonuses like sync with My Ford Touch, the Pony projection lights, and a Shaker 9-speaker stereo. Not to mention that our car also comes equipped with adaptive cruise control, a $1,200 option, but it really transforms the Mustang from a sports car into a car you can live with every day. So all that turns this Mustang into a $41,000 machine. Now you may be asking yourself, $41,000 for a Mustang? Isn't that a bit much? Yeah, it is, but with a car that looks this good and gets this many stares, it's worth it. Now, one thing's for certain, with a 2015 Mustang, especially in this competition orange paint scheme, you're gonna get a lot of looks. You're gonna get a lot of stares. It's almost as if there's a beautiful woman crossing the street every time you pull up to a red light. Now, the biggest question is gonna be, are people still gonna be staring 2 years from now when the new Camaro comes out? That we'll have to wait and see.